Hi, I'm Jill with Healthy Habits Hypnosis. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this episode, we're going to be talking about something that comes up in session all the time. I get this call maybe 3 times a day where people want me to help them create a habit, something that they don't really want, for something they don't really want to do. Like most commonly is exercise. I need help getting motivation for exercise. The second most common thing is for marketing things like sending out letters, making calls to customers, things that salespeople have to do that aren't always so much fun. I'm sure if you think about your job or your business right now, you can come up with a couple of those tasks that you really have to do them, but they aren't the most favorite part of what you do. But if you don't do it, you aren't going to be getting the results that you want. So before we get really started, I want you to be thinking about a trigger object that can help with this process, something that you're going to see. So for example, it needs to be something on your desk if this is a work task, or if it's for exercise motivation, I want you to be thinking about a pair of shoes or maybe a gym bag, something that you see all the time. Also, I'm going to give a wave when the meditation starts so that when you're watching this back, you don't have to hear my explanation the whole time so you can see it. Also, it is easier. I find that the mistake people make most common is that they try to do this task for too long at a time. So I'll hear people, particularly around study habits, they will try to sit down for 4 hours and study when they've actually clinically shown that after about 45 minutes, the mind slows way down and you have a diminishing return. So you're much better off if you're doing a task for around 45 minutes, take a little break, go do something stupid, watch a video on TV, maybe one of these, and then come back to the task and do another 45 minutes. The other thing, I'm going to include some wording around doing this task 3 times a week for 45 minutes. If that's not appropriate for the task you're trying to get motivation for, just change the wording in your mind. It'll still work. It doesn't have to be exactly what I did. Also, try to do this task at a specific time every week. So for example, I do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I go to the gym. And it'll make it a little bit easier to put that habit in place. So this process is designed to help you get that happy feeling that you get at the end of the task. So for example, with exercise, a lot of times you feel really good when you're done, but the motivation, we forget about how great we feel when we're trying to get ourselves to just do it. So this process is going to help bring in that happy feeling that you get at the end when you're in the process of just thinking about going and doing the task. So it's easier to get it done. In the case of salespeople, it might be easier to be thinking about the results, the paycheck, the commissions, whatever you're going to get as a result, as a gift, a benefit for doing this task that may not be the favorite thing that you have to do. So when you're ready, go ahead and find a nice quiet place to sit and relax. Close your eyes and begin to focus your attention on your breath, paying attention to the ebb and flow of your breath, and just noticing the way each inhalation brings in calm, peace, and centering, and the way each exhalation releases the past, releases what you're done with, releases and lets go. Now I want you to just imagine a beautiful, long, lazy slide. Just like the ones they have at the fair, a long, lazy slide. And this slide is going to help bring you down to a deeper level inside of you. A place that you can go to make changes. A place that you can go to create new habits, new ways of being. So just imagine this slide now. Just sit down on the top of the slide and notice that next to the slide, there's numbers, and each number represents a different layer, a different level. And as you let go of the sides of the slide, you can see the numbers are going down, 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 down. And as the numbers go down, you go deeper and deeper inside. So just allow yourself to let go. 6, really allowing yourself to relax, just enjoy. 5, deeper yet, much, much deeper. 4, there's nothing to do, no one to bother you, just you. 3, letting go, really enjoying the comfort, the peace. 2, allowing yourself to go twice as deep now, twice as deep, almost there now. 1, all the way inside, allowing each breath to bring you a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper, even deeper. Good. So I want you to just imagine yourself now in the conference room in your mind. place where you go to try and make change. It's a place where you go to make decisions about new habits, new things that you'd like to bring into being. So in this conference room, there's a beautiful screen, and you have the ability to put up images and pictures of what you want. So I want you to think about a task, a little task. It's a little hard to get started, but once you do, you know the results are so good. There's such a payoff. So I want you to think of this task now. This thing that maybe in the past you put off, but you realize you really don't want to do that anymore. That's not how you want to be. And I want you to think about an object that reminds you of this task. Maybe something on your desk, maybe something that you wear, something that reminds you of this task. And I want you to imagine that now. Now I want you to think about the results of completing the task. And as you think about the results of completing the task, I want you to imagine what it looks like, what life looks like after you've done it. How it feels. How does your body feel? How do you feel? Is there a sense of satisfaction? Is there a sense of relief? Is there a feeling of completion? Or is there a feeling of prosperity that happens after you've completed the task? Go ahead and get in touch with that feeling now. Give that feeling a color. Make it bigger. And just allow that feeling, that color, to surround you now as you breathe it in, breathing it in. Bring it all the way down to the tips of the toes and the top of the head. Breathing in that feeling, just like you've completed the task. Now as you're breathing in that feeling and bringing it all the way into your body, really surrounding yourself with that feeling, I want you to think about the task. Think about doing the task. See yourself doing it as you're feeling that wonderful feeling. Imagine it up on the screen now. See yourself completing the task. Now in the past you may have thought this was so hard, or you may have put it off, but you're realizing right here, right now, that it's not that hard at all. It's just a moment and then the moment's gone. So we're going to begin to instill in your mind the idea of doing this task 3 times a week for at least 45 minutes. Maybe more frequently. You decide. But you're just going to begin to think about this task as something you're going to do at least 3 times a week for 45 minutes. Really anchoring that inside. In a flexible way, you can always change it. But if you should ever go a week without doing it that frequently, or several days, if several days go by and you haven't done it, your mind will gently remind you that it's time to do that task. And you'll remember the feeling of how good it feels to have done it. And you remember how easy it is to accomplish it. Really soaking that in now. As you begin to anchor that task in your mind, that goal, creating a goal around it. Whether it's a certain number of times you're going to do it in a month, or a certain result, really anchoring that now. Now I want you to see yourself moving into the future after you've done this task on a regular basis. And notice the result. Notice how life is different. Having consistently created and done this task, created this habit, put it into place, made it a part of your life. Notice the result. Notice how life is different. Notice what's different. Notice what's the same. But notice what's different, what's better. Getting excited about the results, imagining even further into the future where we'll have done it for longer. Notice how good that feels, that sense of accomplishment. And realizing that at the end of the day, it didn't take that much time, and it felt really good, and you were excited to have done it. So proud of yourself for accomplishing this goal. Good, so sitting in that for one more moment. As you bring yourself back into the present now, making a decision about when you're going to next do this task, sticking to it, and knowing that it will be so much easier now that you've really decided you're going to do it. So really settling back in the body now, beginning to put your attention to your feet. Now bring your attention about a foot below the feet. And I'm going to count from 1 to 5. When I reach the count of 5, your eyes will be open, you'll be wide awake, so refreshed and feeling so good. 1, slowly starting to come up now. 2, feeling excited about these changes, knowing they're going to happen just the way you've asked for them. 3, feeling so good, so strong. 4, energy returning to fingers and toes. 5, eyes open, wide awake, feeling fine and wonderful.